8 inches or foot away from where he was. It gives his zone to get position on that 8 ball much smaller.
That's a shot right there. Leave the cue ball there for the 15.
Right.
I think he's thinking of leaving it there for the 8, but I think that's a lot tougher to get to because if you shoot the 8 in the side, but I don't know. The 8 might be awkward.
I think that's the 11 ball, and that's in nowhere zone.
Yeah.
There's no break shots off of that. So he's going to have to go to the 11 and get a perfect angle on the 13 to be able to come out in the middle of the table. Yeah. He's actually looking about coming underneath it, which I think
I mean, if he's going to do that, then he has to play position for the 13 and then, possibly go, 2-3 rails to the second diamond. But I think as far as keeping it simple, this is the easiest one. He just went ahead, looked at all his options, and said, okay, let me just go with the easiest one. The one, and I'm always going to say this to the day I die, the one that requires the minimum movement of the cue ball is usually the best solution.
Yeah. Maybe I'm misreading the table. I don't think the 11 brings him into the balls. I think it's much too low.
I'm talking about coming off the bottom rail and hitting the corner balls with the 11 ball.
Okay.
Yeah, he's definitely not going to hit the rack. He has to come off the bottom rail. But, he wanted to go. I think he wanted a little more angle than that. I seriously doubt that he was trying to end up straight on the 11 and then try to draw into the rack because
there's going to be no speed on the cue ball.
Mm-hmm. But I'm pretty sure he wanted a little more angle than that. He kind of shook his head a bit. Yeah, this is going to be tough because he has a thicker hit on the ball, and he's going to lose a little speed on the cue ball. So, the key here is to hit worst case scenario the 2, best case scenario the 12. Because it gives a cue ball the best possible chance to escape,
But this is that tricky angle. It's easy to miss the whole stack.
Yeah.
But he's going to make the ball. At least he's not going to not run
It looks like he's drawing. Does he have a full enough hit to draw?
Wow. Volume down.
Okay. I was, someone asked me a question and I didn't see. I got distracted. I didn't see what happened there.
He was able to draw and straighten it out enough to catch the corner of that 12 ball.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But you see the difference catching that corner ball, right? Yeah. He loosened up 4 balls that way. So what do you do here? Do you shoot the 14 in the side and have the 10 as a Geico in the side as well?
Yeah, I think you got to shoot the 14 and come under those balls, come under the 8 and the.
That's what I would do. I would play the position for the 10. Yeah. I mean, if
you
can draw it in between the 2 balls, and then go to the problem with that is if he draws into the rack.
Can he has an angle to get into the balls? You think?
Oh yeah, he definitely has an angle to get into the balls.
Oh no, I couldn't see that at all.
I think he's wondering if he can he doesn't want to hit the side of the rack because then the cue ball might possibly scratch off of it. I think he's trying to. So you can't hit it too hard because the harder you hit it, the longer it stays on that tangent line before the draw grabs. Right? You see that? That was good.
Yeah, I didn't think he could catch a piece of it.
Because even if he can't see any of these, he still has a 10 as the insurance ball. I'll try my best to refrain from using Geico too much.
No, I think actually it'll be the most memorable word. I'm going to use it from now on. Everybody knows what it means. It means a lizard shot.
So I think he's going to shoot the 12 next and then use the 1 ball to run into them. Now, what I like about this shot with the 1 ball is that if he gets right on that angle, on the 1 ball, he has an opportunity to break the balls, come off the 4, the 9, and the 13, and stop right there for the 6 ball in the same pocket as a 12 ball. But I don't think he got that angle. He might have enough. He might have enough over here.
I think he's on the wrong side of the ball.
Yeah, if he is, then he might have to draw back for the 8 ball instead. It's amazing how
go 2 rails. He could go 2 rails and get under the 3, or he could.
No, he's going to have to draw back for the 8, I think, because I don't know if you want to run into the 2 there. I think he's looking to see if he went with a stun follow. Does he hit the top side of the 7 so he can play position for the 7 in the same pocket as the 1? So he's looking at his options before he makes his decision. I like it that he does that. You know that?
Yeah, he's definitely being careful. When
Well,
we
he's going to come off the 5 ball here, so he has to really watch his speed, not to lose control of the cue ball. He's probably going to play position for the 8 ball,
great shot.
right? So now here, this is one common mistake that a lot of straight pool players make. You're shooting the 8 ball and running into a cluster of 4, possibly 5 balls. It's not necessary to really smash him.
Right.
But you want to make sure if you hit the bottom of the ball, there you go. By hitting the top of the ball, you control it. But if you hit the bottom of the ball, the cue ball goes to the bottom rail.
Yeah.
And that's how people get stuck a lot.
Yeah, if you can peel off the top of them and get the cue ball clear.
Over here, he has an opportunity, assuming that the 4 goes in, to play position on the 4 and take out the 9 and put it in better spot for the break shot.
He's in stop position here.
Mm-hmm.
These have opened up ideal.
I think he liked the 3 where it is, so it probably wasn't necessary for him to leave an angle on the 4 to possibly take out the 9 ball as a better break shot, right?
A lot of ways to run
Well,
these
he needs to
little
get rid
balls
of that 5 ball as soon as possible. Good shot. See, now he's in the clear here. Now he can use a 5 for the 2. And then use a 2 to go to the 9, the 15, and then the 3. He can also, I mean, if he really wanted to, he could shoot the 15 in the sign and get a better angle on the 5, and then use a 2 in the 9. That's what the beauty of this game. You have, everyone has a different way.
Did he get a little steep here?
Possibly. I mean, if the 3 were a little lower,
I think
it would be very easy to get straight on the 15 and then use the 15 to get to the 9 to go 2 rails.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I think he's
He's
good
fine.
here.
Oh, yeah, he was
He
great.
has a very nice angle. But he has such great cue ball control, too. Now he goes to the center of the table, and he's fine. Come off 1 rail. And I like that. I like going off to the center of the table and then shooting the 15 to get on the 3, Jerry, because, if you try to get too perfect on the 15, just dead straight,
You're going to get on the
you
wrong.
just hit
You
it.
run the
Yeah.
risk of getting on the wrong side. Yeah.
He didn't want to do that. Pretty sure it was accidental, but he might have to change his strategy here a bit. He's going to either have to go 2 or 3 rails, or 2 rails with draw, or bank it 1 rail, or shoot the 3 in the corner and go 2 rails and play the 15 in the side. That's all I see.
It was a pretty disastrous little rub there.
Yeah, that's what he's looking at. I like it that he's really weighing his options before he makes that final decision. It's very smart. Very nice.
Perfect speed. Perfect speed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the second rack. So, Tony, how do you like being in Florida now?
It's absolutely phenomenal. It's not New York, that's for sure. As far as, students and stuff like that, I had way more students in New York. But, New York is a unique place.
Yeah.
But I'm having a blast with my family. As I said yesterday, I think I might have added 10 years to my life because I found myself being more active.
You're in the Miami area?
Miami, Cutler Bay, yeah.
So, how do people contact you for lessons and that? Just on
they can look me up on
Messenger?
Facebook, yeah. Facebook Messenger and stuff. Let's see what he does here. Looks like he's hitting it low, so he has to be careful not to draw into the corner. Very nice. I love that break shot when you're going to hit in between the balls and you hit it with some stun draw. And what happens with stun draw and left is when you go in between the balls, the cue ball would draw away from the scratch, go 2 rails, and then go right back into the rack again. You know who's one of my favorite players shooting that shot? John Schmidt.
Mm.
I so wish he would have been here. I mean, man, it would be so awesome to have him here. I mean, if you're out there listening, John, we miss you, and I hope to see you here next year, buddy.
Yeah, he's got some other business opportunities going that has got his attention right now.
I know. But what's a straight pool event without John? You know,
Yeah,
in my opinion, you know.
he does add an element of excitement.
My father was explaining to me last night about something, but he's got a record. He's got a high record.
Yeah,
Yeah,
626.
Yeah, he beat
Mosconi.
Mosconi's
Mosconi and
correct.
stuff. Yes, he
Yeah.
was the only one. He said. My
Hmm.
father said
Yeah.
he was sitting down last
Yeah,
night
that
talking.
record stood for 54 years.
Big shout out.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
No, he totally deserves it, and he
he's got
totally deserves the credit for having done what most people consider to be the impossible.
yeah.
You know. You ever watch that Muhammad Ali poster that they had, where he's standing up like this, and his opponent is down? I think it was Sonny Liston, and then
Mhm.
in the ad it says "Impossible is nothing." It's super cool. I love that. That's John in a nutshell, right?
Yeah, I mean the body of work that he produced while he was making that effort to run those balls, break the record is phenomenal.
Well, you know, he had quite the team too with Doug Desmond, who we had the pleasure of having dinner with last
Mhm.
night, and you know, Doug was a massive help as well as you and all his other friends. You know, you had to have some kind of support.
Yeah, he will be the first to tell you that it was a team effort,
Hmm.
you know. And it was a pleasure. Yeah, it was a pleasure to be involved in. We produced done these live shows where he's shown the run to many people now, and through the pandemic, which is really kind of odd to be able to pull it off then. But when people have an opportunity to see the run and see him do the live show where he's live explaining and the demonstration, it's amazing,
Yeah,
amazing. I mean, it's beyond just like, oh, great pool. I mean,
that's awesome.
it's a
I
truly
can't wait to
dramatic
see
and
it.
historic
I like this shot, and
event.
the reason why I like that shot, I mean, he
Shooting the
has to feel
6.
comfortable. No. I meant the 13 the side, but the five is
Because
if he's unsure, he has to shoot the five.
he was aiming at the
But
6.
he really needs to get rid of that 1 and that 9 as soon as possible, and the 7, so that the 2, the 11 have access. I mean, the 11, 2 and the 11 have access up the corner anyway, but
Right.
the 4 needs to have access to one of those corners, and getting rid of the 7 is going to help too. Because the 6 will go in the same corner closest to the 9 and the 1. He hit that with such great speed, but he still needs to get rid of that 1 ball and the 9 ball or the 7 ball as soon as possible.
Yeah,
See,
the reason he didn't like having to shoot that is he was playing position on one ball essentially, and then
Mhm.
getting on top of the table, and there was nothing else
Yeah.
up there. There was nothing else that was going to lead him to it. But he actually sat there and looked at aiming that 6 ball up table, which would be just crazy on the diamond. But I mean, he's still a huge favorite to make it. But it would have totally opened the 13, cleared the problems. But that's, you got to have your head examined
He's
to
going to
choose
draw for
that
the
one.
7. For the 7 or the 9, I would shoot the 9 here if I can, or even one of those. But the 9 is probably the shot here. But even if he shot the 7, he can still shoot the 1 afterwards. But then he still has to contend with the 9 again. You see,
Right.
That's where the problem is.
Well, he's all jacked up in the middle of the table, so
I would use a bridge here for sure, and just draw softly into that
dink
1
into
ball.
the 1.
Then I use the 7 to get into the 4 and get rid of the get rid of the problem with the 13 and the 6.
Oh. Yeah, I mean,
He can definitely do that because it's
really
not
does
that
solve the
difficult of a shot.
problems.
You just move that 1 ball out just enough so that the 4 has access to that pocket, and the cue ball stops there after he hits a 1 for position on the 7.
I wonder if the angle is lying just to where he can just roll it. He doesn't have to try to.
Oh, that's even better if he can roll it.
Yeah, if he doesn't have to
But-
hit a low ball, just to complicate it even more. This. Nobody likes this shot, but it appears to be the right shot.
Yeah, I'm looking at it from here, and it looks like he might have to at least stun the ball. I think if he stuns it, he's in perfect shape.
I mean, he's going to be
Yeah, you see, he's gonna.
getting close to a.
You're supposed to put the bridge
45-degree
closer
angle.
to the ball, so that way you can elevate more. He's not putting the bridge close enough to the ball. You see, that's what you're supposed to do.
That's the wrong side of the bridge, but I think it's got that smaller groove that elevates it, and it does give it just a hair more height. I mean, this is treacherous. He could foul the 2. The referee is standing guard closely.
Oh no!
I was afraid he could
Yeah,
get
no.
under that ball.
Yeah,
I was afraid that he ran a risk of getting under that ball.
I mean, I wonder if the 4 goes in the side, because if the 4 goes in the side, that might be the shot. Because you can at least move the 11 out of there and play position for the 8 in the side or the 7 in the corner.
I gotta think he's gonna shoot the 2. At least have
Yeah.
some side rails to
Hmm.
hit it a little bit squirrely and still smooth it in.
Yeah, it's a little tricky
But it
because if you
doesn't.
shoot the 2 and the cue ball rolls off the 11 and goes on the other side of the 8, you don't really have a shot, you know?
Yeah, no, he could be looking at having to shoot the 10 next. This is not. This is not good.
Yeah. I think he's just thinking of rolling it, either rolling it and play the 2 next, or just
You
draw it
could
to the 11 and
he's
start
gonna
the cue
snap
ball.
it a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony, I hope you feel bad for talking him into shooting that bridge shot.
No, no, it's he. I'm surprised that he couldn't get the.
Yeah,
to-
but it
to
just
hit the
seemed
cue
like it
ball
was
lower.
that. Yeah, he would have. It did seem like the natural rolling angle, which
Yeah,
was gonna send the cue ball into the 1.
yeah, but I think that was kind of his fault for not bringing the cue ball close. I mean, the bridge closer to the
And
ball. I think
jacking
he
up
had.
even more.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's kind of like if you're trying to shoot over a ball. If you have your bridge several inches away, you can never quite get over the ball. But once you
Sure,
put your
but
bridge
you,
closer,
sure,
you know,
sure. But
and
every angle you elevate complicates the shot.
yeah. I mean, if you're hitting it with no spin, it's easier. But if you're hitting with spin, yeah, it's a lot tougher. You know, but he didn't really have
But
to.
that's the point. Is you think you're hitting dead center, but you're putting a little spin on it. It's hard
Yeah,
to not.
yeah.
And it's
I mean,
so
I'm lucky in the sense that I have a special bridge that is way taller than that one, so I never have a problem like
right.
getting over that ball and hitting it low.
Well, this is our first appearance of Joshua Filler at the table, and I assume he's just going to try to get out in the open here. I don't know how straight in he is. No, he's straight in. He can just get out in the open, and he's got a great break shot on the 11. Even the 2 is perfectly workable.
And I
Let's
think the
see.
6 goes in the same pocket as the 1, right?
Yeah, but he's got to get on that side of the table. Let's see if he can get his patented momentum going. Yeah, we watched him play yesterday, and they were just.
Did he overhit
he
that?
overhit it. He overhit it
Oh,
bad.
yeah, he overhit it really bad.
I think he can still maybe see the 8 in the side.
He's going to go 3 rails for the 6 in the corner pocket if he should see it in the side.
Great shot.
Yeah.
So yesterday we saw him just struggling through his match. Things weren't going right, and the balls were not cooperating. The very next match, he steps up and runs 150 and out.
Well, I spoke to
in
Joshua.
like 32 minutes or 34 minutes.
That's unbelievable. I spoke to him yesterday after that match, and he told me that for whatever reason, this TV table was way faster than the other tables that he played on, and he felt that's why he struggled, and they weren't opening as well as they were on the other table. So I don't know.
His cue ball just getting away from him a little bit.
I mean, he just got away from him now, so. See, I like this because you minimize the movement, and even if you get dead straight on the 2 ball, you're
Totally
still in
workable.
good.
Yeah, he likes the thin angles. He likes to be able to just slice and dice and get straight into the rack. So, Tony, while I've got you here in the booth, I want to ask you some straight pool history. Because you're one of the guys that really knows where this game came from. Knew a lot of the older players being out of New York. And a name that I've heard you mention before is George McCullough Jr.
Mm-hmm.
That's just strictly a New York name? Because when I was growing up, I remember hearing Gene Nagy's name, and I didn't know anything about straight pool. But there were some of those names that we heard from across the country that were master players, and Gene Nagy was one of those names. Mike Euphemia was another one of them.
That's correct. Yeah. The thing with George McCullough Jr. is I think that he didn't compete in world championships as much as Gene Nagy did. So I think that's why Gene's name was well known in the New York area. But anyone that lived in New York and knew of George knew what a great straight pool player he was. And in addition, when I used to practice with Gene Nagy at LeQ in Queens many years ago, I asked him, who was your biggest rival? He told me that George McCullough Jr. was his rival. And I said, how do you guys play? He said, even. And he took out this little pill case, opened it up. He had a golden pill there. He said he's been saving that pill to take it if he ever played George again.
That was his secret weapon.
Yeah, it was a secret. It was just, he was so hilarious.
So these guys were a whole generation older than you.
Yes, and you know the one thing that I respected about George, he was there every day practicing 8-10 hours a day, and so was Gene Nagy. Gene Nagy was that player that would practice one break shot for 8 to 10 hours in a row, the same exact break shot over and over and over.
Wow.
I mean, can you imagine setting up just one break shot, same exact break shot,
And
no
just
other
re-racking them every
and just
time.
re-racking every single time, not running balls. I can't. It's unbelievable. But that's why he was a 400-plus ball runner, and so was George. George also ran 400 or more multiple times. And George actually ran 336 balls at Chelsea Billiards several months before he passed away at the age of 58. George was also the only straight pool player that I ever met in my life who would set up a break shot in front of Ginky, George Sansusi Ginky, and I. And he would look at us and he would say, before I shoot this break shot, I want to ask you guys to come over here to show you something cool. And I said, what's that? He said, you see this break shot? I said, yeah. He says, okay, well, when I shoot this break shot, before I shoot the break shot, I'm letting you know that the 15 ball is going to be my break shot for the next rack, and the 5 ball is going to be my key ball for the next rack.
And we
And
just
he would
call
do it
out
about
of
he
the
would
middle.
do it about 60-70% of the time. He knew exactly where the balls were going
Wow.
when he did the break shot. He was the only one that ever did that. Only one. I've never heard. I even told Thorsten the story. He was like mesmerized when I told him that. But you know, for those of you that are learning the game and are really interested in learning the game, I got a good tip from Alan Hopkins many years ago, where he would say, if you really want to learn a little bit more about how the ball spread, you should always rack him in the same exact order every single time. So I took it upon myself to do that, Jerry, and I actually discovered a couple of break shots where I know more or less where some of the balls are going to go, and it's an eye opener. It really is.
Wow, I had never heard that advice before. So would you say George McCullough was your biggest influence?
Everyone in New York, because I mean, you got Danny Berruti. I call Danny Berruti the sage, the grandmaster, the guru. I mean, what is there about Straightpool that he doesn't know? He's man. It's like I think sometimes I don't know if disappointed or I'm frustrated is the correct word, but you know, I don't think he gets the credit that he deserves for the amount of knowledge that he has in Straightpool and how good he is in the game of Straightpool.
Well, he's in the Straightpool Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That's
And he deserves to be there.
yeah.
And you know, another one is Steve Lipsky. Steve Lipsky is very, you know, a lot of people don't know who he is, only the people in the Straightpool community. But this kid is so talented. It's like if he played full time, there's no limit to the amount of balls that he can run. And then you had Tommy Walters, you had Jack Calavita, you had Ray Martin, who lived in New Jersey, who was a former 3-time World Straightpool champion. You know, for you to say that you won it once is in itself an achievement. He won it 3 times.
That was a cute little shot he just played right there.
Yeah, he hit that great.
Yeah, he got himself. He purposely got himself on the other side of the ball.
I don't think he's gonna like this
Yeah.
too much, but you know, he's very comfortable with smashing balls in.
He's got a tiny bit of angle.
Mm-hmm.
This 4 ball's not going to roll off. So Joshua got up to the table and has got at least an opportunity to control the game. Let's see if he can open a view.
Well, I just can't picture him ever missing this shot. So you know, he's got
no.
plenty of power to spare. He just needs to make sure he controls the cue ball. He should be in good shape.
He just needs to chip him a couple out and have them lay reasonably well to be able to continue the run.
I really like hitting this with stun follow, but some people have it's a little dangerous because you can scratch into the corner, right? You see,
Yeah.
when you're almost straight like that, you're drawing at a straighter angle, so you actually approach the angle of approach from the cue ball coming off the object ball changes, so it comes off the rack in the straighter line, and increases the chances of following that line straight towards the corner. 11 ball might break the balls a bit here too. Right? Nope. Just missed it. Now the question here is, does the one go past the 10? He's going to shoot the 11 and run into them. Okay.
Oh,
I don't know if he's going to like this unless the 15 goes in the side. If the 15 goes in the side, he's in good shape. Then he's probably going to want to draw and play position for the 14 in the corner, the 13 in the side if it goes. I think he has to shoot the 15 in the side if it goes.
if it doesn't go, he's
If
got
it
a
doesn't go,
problem.
he might have to play safe.
I don't think
He'll
he's.
take a foul.
Yep, he's sizing up that 15.
He might even just go 2 rails and play the 12 in the opposite side pocket. You know, that's probably the safer shot. You don't want to, because he has too much angle, I think, to just draw it in the bottom rail. We'll see.
I think he's gonna just try to draw it to the bottom rail and just get out in the middle.
Yeah, he's either going to play a 13 in the side pocket or the 12 on the opposite side pocket, I think. Right?
Oh, he made it. Yeah,
I mean, he
I
could
just
even
thought
shoot the 10 here if he wanted to, but
like
12 ball's a better shot.
Yeah, he's gonna play the 12 and just bring the cue ball back out in the middle again.
See, now you see how the
Yeah.
3, 8, and 6 are lying? You know how many times I've seen people shoot this shot in the side pocket and the cue ball comes off the 3, the 8, and then the 6 and goes straight in the corner. See that? Because it has like a little J shape. You
Yeah.
know, when you have a little J shape like that going
you-
towards the
you-
pocket, so you have to make sure you hit in between. That's exactly what he did there. Now I'm wondering if the 8 ball goes past the 7 in the same pocket as the 13 so that he can eventually get there, or does the 7 go in the corner so that way he doesn't have to really worry. Also, he can shoot this. He can shoot the 2 to break it up, but he has to be careful not to tie up the 3 with the 6. Well, he almost tied up the
Yeah,
3
he
with
got
the
a
6,
nice roll.
but he got a nice roll there, you know. So I'm saying you have to be mindful where the balls are going when you run into them,
Yeah.
so that way you figure out what speed to hit it with enough speed, and make sure they get out of the way, you know.
Yeah, I think he was watching it. He knew that there was a danger there. Fortunately, the combination lined up.
Yeah, because he definitely wants to use a 10 to get, you know,
As a
use
key
it as a
ball.
key ball, but I guess he doesn't feel comfortable with it. He feels more comfortable with this than he does with the 8.
Yeah, I just felt like it felt like the 8 was going to take him into bad territory.
Well, you know, also, you know, he can use it. The 1 is a great a break shot. So, you know, as long as he's a great position player, as long as he gets position on any one of these balls, you know, the correct angle to get on the break ball, he should be in good shape. But over here, he has to shoot the combination, because I don't like shooting the 8 first. I like shooting in the same pocket, going 2 rails. Now, you know which shot I love here to use to get on the break shot, Jerry? I love leaving the cue ball more or less where it's at, but a little closer to the 6, and shooting the 6 and coming 2 rails for the 1 ball. I love that. I hit
Across.
that. It's very easy for me to control that. Oh, wait, he overhit that a bit. No, he
If
didn't.
he's straight in, that's a perfect stop shot to get him to come a nice angle off the 8.
Yeah, that's not a bad pattern at all. I like it.
Yeah,
As long as he can avoid the
stop his
scratch in
ball.
the side pocket, he's good.
Yeah, this will be fine. Just speed shot.
Very nice. Wow.
Slow down.
He keeps overhitting that.
Yeah, that's
that
what you
cue
said.
ball,
That,
right?
that the table felt
Yeah.
a little faster to him
Mhm.
than some of the others. He's shaking his head a little bit.
But he's definitely hitting them better than he did yesterday morning.
So tell me about Chelsea Billiards.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that the room where you kind
Yes.
of grew up playing?
Chelsea Billiards is where I grew up playing. Ginky grew up playing. Jeanette Lee grew up playing. You know, we all hung out every single day for about a couple of years. Very nice draw shot right there. And
Was
there's
that
so many great players.
mostly a straight pool room?
Yeah, it was a straight pool room, but it was also a 9-ball 1 pocket room too. You know, anyone that walked through the door, you know, got played. Whether it was with me, Ginky, you know. Jeanette started getting into the mix here and a little bit there. She started really developing her game there at that time. He's going to run to the 2. There you go. I love that shot. You play position for the 2 in the same pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like one of the greatest rooms there ever was, in my opinion. I've been to a lot of rooms around the country, and
You know, I knew a lot of road players and gamblers and road players that traveled around the country and would specifically just not go to New York. They just didn't go
yeah. Oh,
because because for certainly they had no chance playing straight pool. People from other parts of the country. I mean, obviously New Jersey and a little bit Chicago and that, but it was just wasn't. It was just too hard to mess around there. And
well,
these
well,
players
you
were
also
playing
lose
for a
your
lot of
action
money.
if you play one of the top players and beat him. You don't want to. A lot of these
Right.
players don't want to ruin their action. See, I was a little different when I gambled many years ago. I did it to gain experience with the game, whether it was straight pool, 9-ball, 8-ball, whatever it was. So once I felt that I developed enough experience, I quit gambling. I was never in it to really make a lot of money. And I'm not saying that no one doesn't want to make money, but I really, really wanted to gain the experience. But the one thing that helped me with my reputation, at least, is I never went into a pool room pretending that I didn't know how to play. Everywhere I went to in the country, when I went to the pool room, I said, I'm looking for action. I just want to let you know that I play at the pro level.
Mm.
And I never
Yeah.
had a problem. I went to places I'd never been to in my life, and everyone always respected me for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, there was a lot of players that did take that approach that took the total opposite approach of what you would think. Would say, I'm the best player you've ever seen, and get whoever your best player is and let's play.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I never said that I was the best player you ever seen. Look, he's going to bump the 10 a little bit, just a little bit. Look, boom, just there. You see that? Very nice. If he could have hit us off, that would have been nicer, but that's okay because the 10 wouldn't be as close to the 3-ball as it is. But he needs to get that 6-ball out of there soon. And he also needs to get rid of that 3 or that 15 as well. So he's probably going to use the 3 to the 6. There you go. I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. He put it closer. Very smart. Now he can use the 6 to the 12 to the 11 and then the 15 if you like. So over here you might have to go up and down a bit. I mean, he can always play position on the 15 and use the 11 to go across. So he can really use either or. It all depends on the angle that he has here and how comfortable he feels. Because, the 10 is closer to the rack. So it's not that big. It's not a challenge to use the 11 as a last ball
Right,
if you wanted
because
to.
closer to the middle of the table is good position.
And that's what he chose to do. Oh, I don't think he's
Straight.
going to like
Nope.
this.
I think he's going to get enough angle.
Well, knowing
No,
him,
he
he's going to hit
doesn't.
the bottom rail and then go right past that spot for position on the 10 ball.
Yep, he'll follow it with a lot of right English.
See, he's going to go right past that spot.
Oh,
Yep.
you called it. Yeah, drawing the ball. I thought he had a little bit of angle. He could have gone
And
forward.
he still got a little straight there. Yeah, he's actually straighter in this one than the previous shot. I just looked at it from the actual table itself. He's gonna have to really hit it with enough draw to just get it out of the way. But you see what I said? Whenever you're coming from that angle, look how
Yeah.
close you get to that corner pocket.
He's going to make this ball, though. As horrible as this shot is.
Well, I mean, as long as he doesn't hit the 3 and scratch in the opposite pocket, I mean, I don't think he has the angle to do that, but he has to hit it with enough so that after he hits a 3, the cube will come off.
missed it.
He missed it, though.
He missed it. Boy,
Yeah.
oh boy.
This is a massive opportunity for Mishko.
Sure is. Letting everybody know, Miszko Fortunski came over here on this trip with 2 other Polish players. I did commentary on one of the earlier matches with Martin, their kind of their road manager, and gave us a lot of good information about these players. Had a great run. They had like 9 well, they still have one more tournament, the international tournament.
Mm-hmm.
They had a 9 tournament run while they were in the country
That's
for
awesome.
a couple of
I saw
months.
him in all of the tournaments.
Yeah,
Super cool.
and they've done very well. Obviously, you can see why. But they've been around for a couple 2-3 years at least now, so you've gotten to know these guys pretty well.
Yeah. You got to watch it not to go off the 6 and end up. There you go. As long as he didn't hit the bottom of the 6,
Right.
he doesn't end up in the bottom rail. He hit that so good. He hit that with power. But yeah, they've been doing well in all the tournaments, and they're really good kids too. They're
Yeah.
really good kids.
Tony, have you ever had a straight job? Were you
I
deciding to be a professional player from day one?
I tried. My first ever job was in a pizzeria, and then that lasted 3 months. Then I went and worked as a security officer. That lasted 2 weeks. And then after that, I worked in the pool hall for almost 6 months. And after that, I decided. And the reason why I made that decision is because every single job that I had, the owners treated me like dirt.
Mm.
And it's like, you see how I am as a person.
Right.
I've been like that all my life. So I wasn't looking for problems. They just didn't know how to talk to people. They would embarrass me in front of people and stuff like that. And I just called my dad when I was 21. And I said, Dad, I've had it with working for people. They just don't treat people right. Whatever. I'm going to be my own man. I'm going to charge 25 an hour for lessons. I charge 125 now. Look at the
Right.
difference.
Which is still very reasonable
Yeah.
compared to.
And I told him I'm going to do this for the rest of my life, and that's what I did. I built the business through teaching, and I taught. I've been teaching the game for about 30 years now. Done
Yeah.
private parties, ran my own tour. But, part of that had to do with my wife, Gail, who helped me start everything. But also my inspiration was Grady Matthews, because I sat next to Grady one year in the Camel Pro Billiard Series award ceremony where they would get handing out bonus checks to all the top 25 players on the tour. And I finished ranked 12th that year, and they gave me a bonus check for 7,500. And first place was 60,000. Second place was 30,000. It
60,000.
was a bonus check just for finishing ranked in the top 25. Yeah. So after that, they gave me another check for 2,500 for the sportsmanship award. They started it that year, and they gave me the award the first year, and I got 10 grand in my hands, and I'm saying, wow, I'm like excited. And then Grady's sitting next to me, and he puts his head down and he says, I had 15,000 in the bank when I started the tour this year. I never cashed in once. I never got a check. I can't believe I put 40 years into this game and I have nothing to show for it. And after he said that, he put his head down even lower, and 2 tears rolled down his eyes. And when I saw that, it hit hard. It hit me hard to see a great player like him and a great man being in that position. So from that day forth, I made a promise to myself to make sure that I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure I'm not in the position that he is by the time I reach his age. So I just started looking for different ways of making a living. Teaching, private events, corporate events, the tour, the league. And I was able to do well for myself all those years,
So it really changed your life.
Oh, well, completely. I wouldn't be where I am right now if it weren't for that. So and
So
then my wife, too, just added to it. She took it to an entire different level. My wife without her, I'd be lost, So I've been
So
very
you,
fortunate.
at that point, you decided to turn it into a business.
hmm I was one of the very few pool players on planet Earth, Cherry, that was making a living in the game of pool without hitting a ball.
Yeah.
Because I was also, before I had that experience with Grady Matthews, early in my career, there was this one major tournament that I was playing in. I remember like it was yesterday. It was in Memphis, Tennessee. It was part of the PBT tour, where I was down in the nine, hill, and it was a tough 9. And all of a sudden, it crept in my mind because I just came to the realization that if I didn't make that 9 ball, I don't pay the rent that month. I've never been in that position since that day.
Wow.
Yeah, I made it my business. Make sure I'm not in that position again. I don't like being in that position. And my advice to all the players out there is whenever you can, take all the money that you make in the game of pool. Take all the money you make in the game of pool and invest it, save it, do whatever, but just do not throw it all away.
Yeah.
Because you can be the greatest player that ever lived, and it's not going to be a single thing if when you get older and you're unable to play at the same level.
You know, among the poker players, they have a word for that, which is called leaks. That you've got to plug leaks, but if you've got leaks, and leaks are things that leak off your money.
Hmm.
Do you, if you're a professional poker player, do you leak your money off betting on sports? Do you leak your money off on alcohol and women and
Yeah.
drugs and everything? Like,
See
you've
if
got
he
to plug
makes
the
this one. Yeah.
leaks. You've got to figure out how to financially.
Oh wow,
Oh,
look at that. He moved just enough to miss it. You see his cue stick? His cue stick swayed off to the side.
Yeah.
Oh, we had one of those other morning matches where,
Yeah.
remember I was joking yesterday. I said, none of these guys except Mieszko Fortuński yesterday went to Dunkin' Donuts for coffee yesterday. He ran 150 an hour. He was the only one.
Yeah.
Everyone else was trying to wake up. I said, these guys need to get their coffee in the morning. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's definitely a real thing of getting your first match under your belt of the day and getting your juices flowing. I don't know what I was talking about is leaks.
Mhm.
Finding out ways that you're wasting money, that you're of your profitability. So I guess I have to ask, when you were standing over that 9 ball, if you miss this 9 ball, you don't
I
pay
did.
rent.
I,
Did you
I
make
missed it. Oh, I
You
missed it. I had to borrow money to pay my rent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that month I had to borrow money from a friend of mine. I hated it.
How old were you at that time, you think?
Man, I had to be 27, 28, but the thing about it,
Josh is having a word with
yeah,
the referee. I'm not sure what the concern is. This game is so fickle. It's amazing from one game to the next how the character of the game can change so much. As much high-level straight pool as you've played over your career, Tony, I know you've been in positions where you needed 2 balls and your opponent needed more than 100 and you got beat.
oh yeah,
Or
it
you
hasn't.
needed more than 100 and they needed 1 ball and you beat them.
Yeah.
You've
Well, I'll tell you. I was playing Danny Baruti many years ago, and Danny Baruti needed 99, exactly 99, and I needed 7, and I missed a shot. Pretty easy shot that I should have made. I took it for granted. Danny ran 99 and out on me.
He ran 99 and out on you, but there's also, you don't have to do that in order to win the game.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Great straight pool players, they're going to take fouls. They're going to play
That's
safe.
correct.
They might run 30 balls on you and you
Mhm.
have no shot, and then they run 26 balls on you and you have no shot, and then they might run out. It might take them 3 or 4 whacks.
It's true.
But when a good player, these champions are at the table, they have the skills to control the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think players often think that you have to just run a giant number, and that these guys run giant numbers all the time. It's not like that.
And that's why some of them lose their matches, because you have to know when and when not to take an intentional foul. You have to know when to not just take an intentional foul, but, maneuver the balls and shift them into positions where when they do play you're safe, now you have a ball to play safe, return safety with. It's so strategic.
Or making one
Yeah.
dead.
Mm-hmm.
Or, talking to Corey yesterday, he came up to the board and he says, well, I know I made well over 200 balls in that match. I still lost. I said, what do you mean? He says, well, I know I back scratched the 15 points at least 3 times, maybe
Yeah.
4.
Yeah. Yeah. He
I mean,
tried.
that's a lost art. I shouldn't say a lost art, but
Yeah.
that's.
I did that 3 times in one match against Allen Hopkins many years ago, and won the match by 14 points.
After you'd taken a 18-point penalty 3
Three
times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because he just put me in a trap that I couldn't get out of.
Yeah.
There's just no way. It was impossible.
Right. You cannot just shoot a flyer from there.
And then I played Danny Berruti in a tournament, the World Championship in New Jersey, and I had to take 3 fouls twice in a row because he put me in an impossible position. I in all the years that I played Straightpool, I think I probably beat Danny Berruti in a safety battle 2 or 3 times. He's one of the greatest safety players. I mean, he's so tough to beat in a safety battle, man.
Well, in this tournament, I think probably 60% of the shots, or no, what I'm talking, 75% of the shots that I gave up in this tournament were from poor safeties. It wasn't missed balls.
Hmm. I think Josh was in a rush here.
Spots where, yeah, spots where I should have taken a foul because because the experience to know that the safety is as hard as the shot.
Yeah.
And knowing when you have to take fouls.
Hmm.
That's a big skill to learn playing
yeah.
this game.
Well, Josh seems very comfortable at the table now here, Jerry. I think he's in good shape, and I think one lost art too is learning how to study the break shot, where you learn how to control the cue ball a bit better. Because what I'm noticing about a lot of these players is when they don't control the cue ball correctly and they lose it, they end up. I'm talking about the break shot now. They end up out of line on the top rail, and then they end up missing a shot. And it's happened this match. You know, he just missed a 4-ball last rack, and
Right,
Josh
they
had
both
missed
did.
the 13 before. But the thing with these guys is that they're such great players and such pure shot makers that it's like you give them another opportunity, they kind of make up for it.
Right.
It's really, really, really a pleasure to watch. So he underhit that one. I think he wanted to play the 2-ball in the upper right-hand corner. So he's probably either going to have to shoot in the side now or just come back for it. I would come back for it. I wouldn't even toy with that.
Shoot
Yeah.
the 4-ball, get up there on the side where he's got.
Well, I would shoot the
options.
4-ball and then shoot the 5 in the side, and then get rid of the 15 and the 7, and then use the 2 as a key ball. Because I tell people all the time, leaving a ball up there is not necessarily a bad key ball. I played key balls up there for most of my career many times, especially when the pattern allowed it. But is he going to shoot the 2-ball now, I guess?
Yeah, well, that's what he played shape for, and 2 rails to get down onto these
Because
2
if
balls.
the 15 is a break shot, why wouldn't you shoot the 1, the 15? But I can't tell from here.
I think the 15's too close to the line.
Oh, no, the 15 is in the rack for sure. Yeah, I just took a look at it. It's definitely in the rack.
He's going to use these 2. Both
He's
of
just
them
gonna
are
bump it
reasonable
out.
key balls.
He's just going to bump it out and then get an angle on the 7. Now he just stuns it over.
Great shot. So, Tony, when you were in the pool room, did players did you actually ask them questions? Would they actually help you, or did you have to just kind of learn? Did they have the "don't wise up the dummies"
You mean
philosophy?
as far as learning?
Yeah. Were the great players helpful, or did you just have to watch them play? And
I was one of the very
out?
few ever.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, look at that. He almost got double kissed
He almost
into the
got
corner.
double, yeah.
I was one of the very few players ever that was willing to share info anytime with anyone, because I've always been about the growth of the game. But, man, these guys, it was like pulling teeth. Oh, wow, look, he almost missed that.
Yeah, so they wouldn't give up the information.
Mm-hmm.
You had to watch, figure it out.
Yeah. Yep.
At the end of games, they didn't walk up to you and say, well, you should have shot the 4-ball. If you'd
Sometimes
have just
they would
stayed on
say
this
that.
side and shot the 4
Oh,
ball.
look, he might have. I don't know if he can make that.
I
I
think
don't know
he's
if he
got a
can make the third
combination. I think all he's got is that 210 combination, or he's going to bank that other ball, which he'll absolutely do if he has to.
He's an incredible combination shot shooter, too. I mean, he makes even the most awkward angles look like hangers. It's incredible to watch. Is he going to bank? He's looking at the possibility of the bank, too. I mean, if he banks, there's really no reward there
I'm not
unless he
sure. I'm
draws
not
it.
sure where he was trying to go. Did he just come up short? He was trying to get up above the balls.
Yeah, I think he just overhit it a bit. He's thinking of the 8 off the 12.
And how he's going to bank? I gotta think he's going to bank the 5 ball before he would play that open carom. No, he's not. He's
No,
putting on his extension.
I think he's gonna try the 8 off the 12.
Good
He
grief!
then run the 12 into the 9 or the 3 if he is it full enough and not go past and stop the cue ball there. See that?
Good
Look at that.
grief! Is that shot that easy? Am I missing
Yeah.
something?
No, he makes these shots. I'm telling you, these caroms and these combinations, he makes it look like hangers, man. And you know, there's a very good chance that he makes it look like hangers because he works really hard.
He's a great bank player too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How did he not take the 5 ball? It was just
Because he
laying
probably
awkward.
didn't see the benefit
There
of,
was no-
of,
nothing
he couldn't
after that.
control the cue ball. You know.
Well, playing that carom certainly opened everything up for him.
See, now he can shoot this and run into them a bit, nudge them a bit. You know, the cue ball will hit the 15, the 10, and the 2. Just have to make sure that the cue ball doesn't end up frozen on the 6 ball. So you have to hit it with enough speed to make sure it escapes. You know what I'm saying, Jerry? You know, you
Yeah.
shoot this shot, you run into the 10, the 2, and then, you know, have the cue ball creep underneath the
Yeah,
the
it's
6.
clearly a mistake to hit it way too hard, but it can be a mistake in this situation too to hit it too soft.
I guess he figured this is a better option. So
Yeah,
he
I
can
like
probably
that.
play. Yeah, I like it too because he can
He
can shoot the 4. I think in the bottom pocket afterwards. You know.
Yeah, he can unthread all these balls, leave the 7 there. Taking them out in order, they're going to have holes, and he got there on the 6. Unless that 2-10 is...
Well, he can play the 10 in the side pocket too
Right.
if he wanted to, and then the 2 in the opposite side or the corner. He has options here, and then the 15 in the side pocket. So,
Yeah.
good thing is that he's performing
210
surgery. He's not creating a bloody mess. He's
Right.
picking them off as opposed to running
Right.
into them and hoping and
If he
praying for
plays
the
this
best. Right?
combination, the problem is that 2 could tie up with his break ball.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, he probably has enough angle to make sure that it's gonna. Oh yeah, he's got plenty of angle. That 2 is gonna go way past the 7.
the other thing too is once...
Okay, he didn't play it. Yeah, but now he can take out the 2. He can take out the 2 and just roll it a bit and either play position for the 13
So
or
the
for the 10.
is the 13 a good break ball? Is it laying okay?
It's a little on the low side, but I think he can move the 2 ball. If he stops the cue ball there, he might have enough. Oh, look. Oh, I thought he missed it there for a
I
second.
think he thought he missed it too.
But I think he's going to miss. I mean, move the 2 ball and then use the 12 ball for the 15. See that? He just needs to make sure. I mean, even if he overhits a 15, he can still go 2 rails, but I don't think he did.
Still shallow on
Yeah.
the break.
Yeah, but he has more angle on this one than he had in previous shots, so I think he's in good shape here. You know, the thing about these is you have to be careful. Sometimes you come off the top of the rack, depending how you hit the cue ball will hit the long rail and then scratch in the opposite side pocket, so you have to be mindful of that. Oh, he's just going to hit it with follow, I think.
I think he got the 5.
Yeah, I think there he really needed to hit it with some kind of stun or stun follow, so. He can also use a 3 ball as a break ball, Jerry. Use the 11 to get to it, or if he can get to it now, you know, in the opposite pocket.
That's a good play because he'll have the 11 he'll have the 11 and the 6 as a backup if he
That's
doesn't
correct.
get there, and he'll have more chances to get on the 3.
But this is
if he
what I
can get on the
mean.
3, it'd be perfect because then he can go over and the 11 will act as a beautiful Geico.
Exactly. And this is what I mean, too, paying
Did
attention to
you
the
see
details.
how I used the word Geico there?
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
So go ahead.
If he were to get on the 3, the way we're hoping that he would, once you come off the 4 and the 5, even if the cue ball runs into the 9, he overhit that anyway. So never mind. But if he came off the 4 and the 5 and run into the 9, the cue ball's going to stop that It's going to stop there regardless. But yeah, that wasn't very productive right there. He might have to shoot the 6 ball and go 2 rails into them, because I don't really see him doing anything here unless he has a combination on. I don't know if that combination is on. See, he's looking at the 12-5 combination. I'm telling you, there's very few players that feels comfortable with
Hope
these
he got
combinations
he
the way
got
he
an angle
does.
to go into him.
No, he's going to shoot the combination.
Is it
because
laying
the
right?
12 ball is going to break him up, and then
Oh, I
if he
guess
stops
it
the
is.
cue ball there, he has a 6 in the side.
I guess it is. Look at him cheering that break
Yeah.
ball on. That was
You know,
pretty good.
he's feeling it. He's feeling it.
He was body Englishing that ball out of the stack, out of the racking area. I think the 9 is high enough, but he's taking it now. Nudge.
Yeah, he decided to put it in a better spot.
Great shot.
I mean, you had to hit that absolutely perfect, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, you can just hit at the top side and just tangle it up even more with those other 2 balls.
See, I would have taken the 12 to open up the pocket for the 7 and the 2. I don't know. You know, that way when you shoot the 8
Right.
ball, you could just shoot the 7 ball.
Right.
You don't have to have all this extra movement, you know.
Right. I'll just go rail first. What the heck?
Yeah. But I'm just saying, even now, you need to take out that 12 ball so that the 10, or the
yeah.
13 have access to that pocket. You know?
I agree.
Unless he just wants to run into it, I guess. I don't know. I guess he's going to use a 7 to get there. But that makes it a little trickier to get, you know, nice on the ball. I mean, I don't know if he wants to run. If he can run the 13 near the side pocket and draw back for the 7, that would be ideal. But maybe he's just going to go through it with follow. Yeah, I don't know about that. Now he should play position for the 13 on the side, because you have to get too perfect to play this in the corner. To just roll it straight up, you know.
Yeah, and if you do play it in the side, you might get the corner out of it if you misplay it. I think he's taking it up table. He got there. He just got to make it.
Yeah, I can't tell if he's straight enough or not, but it looks like he is.
He's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's perfect. He
All
just
he
has
has
to
to do
make
is
it.
just touch it. But you say he
Perfect.
wound up going a little bit on this side. I mean, he's a shot maker. It doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, I know he loves this. He's up to 92 now. You can see he's just dying to just lap somebody. He just needs the balls to cooperate. Great shot. A little force follow. Put him down to the bottom rail.
I don't know if he exactly has a shot here or not.
You know,
Oh, well, he has the 13 anyway in the corner. Worst case scenario.
13 maybe. The 6 is way too deep. Nope, he's shooting the 6.
Uh-oh. I don't think he's going to like this. I mean, I know he didn't intend to do that, but you had to plan it a little more carefully when you're running into a...
Yeah, that was a bit careless. That was a bit careless. You can't always assume you're going to be running good.
He's in a bit of trouble here.
Can he
Ooh,
shoot the 4 up table?
Oh, he's lucky he didn't hit a ball. If he would have hit a ball, that would have been a foul. You think he might shoot the 14?
I think he's going to see if he got the 4 to go all the way up table. Oh, no, he can't even. I'm looking at the table. He can't see any of that.
Because I'm wondering if he's considering shooting the 14 to the 5 off the 2 in the corner, because he's been doing crazy shots like that, you know. Meanwhile, another news. Ruslan is down by the score of 51-59 against Fedor Gorst, and Fedor's currently on the table.
That's the battle of the Russians.
Currently at the table, yeah.
Yeah, Josh is going to shoot here. I mean, a real straight pool player in this spot is going to take 3 fouls and back scratch.
Mm-hmm.
Back scratch 18 points and re-break the balls. But if he can find anything that thinks he can pocket, he will.
I don't know if I would have moved it that
just
much.
made that 8 ball playable.
Yeah. No, you have to be careful. Like, you don't want to make. See,
I liked back scratching there, but he just needed to barely touch it. He
yeah,
made that 8 ball.
but what Mishko's supposed to do here is back scratch and put the cue ball back where it was originally.
Right.
Because Josh might be doing that because he's a shot maker to put himself in a better position to play the 8. So he's not afraid to shoot the 8.
Right.
So he has to make
Good,
sure he
yeah,
puts
good,
that cue
good
ball.
point. Good
That's
point.
what Danny does. That's what Danny does. Danny is like one of the best I've ever seen doing that.
Just setting you up for a
Yeah.
trap.
Yeah, there you go. I'm surprised he didn't go the other way though.
Or just a tiny bit the other way. He
Yeah,
was trying.
like I think he's gonna go for it, Jerry. That's what it's looking like. And this is the thing. Like, I mean, he's probably thinking.
If I make it, I win.
You should never underestimate your opponent, no matter how good you are. Because he's probably thinking, hey, if I miss it, he's not gonna run 102 an hour. You can't think like that.
No, he's thinking, if I make it, I win.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that, it's risky. If you make it, hey, listen, if you make it, God bless you. If you make it, God bless you. But, I mean, I'd rather lose the 16 points, man.
He made it.
Yeah.
This is like happens in one pocket all the time.
Right.
Where you trap your player, you trap a good player in a spot that's so tight that you force him to shoot.
Yes.
And they're so freaking good, they make it.
Yeah, but the mistake there, Jerry, is that Mishko did not put the cue ball back where he should. Look, he missed the next ball.
What?
He missed the next ball.
Oh
Wow.
my gosh.
He didn't even look at the ball. He didn't even look at the ball. He just shot it. But what I'm saying is that let's say he didn't miss that ball, right? Regardless whether he made or miss it. The lesson there for a lot of people out there is Mishko was supposed to place that cue ball in the same spot it was when he moved it, when
Right.
Josh moved it, because
Josh saw no out.
He shot it towards the 8 instead of away from the 8, and that was his plan all along. He was trying to move it just enough to make him, or give him the
Tempt him.
opportunity to say, hey, if you move it, you give me just a slight bit of an angle, I'm going to go for it.
Right.
He made it, right?
That's the most amazing little exchange I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
How do you explain that?
Oh, you just listen. It has nothing to do with him celebrating or nothing like that. That's his style of play. It's just, you have to still focus. There's no such thing as a gimme in this game. You have to
absolutely.
put 100% effort into every shot you're shooting.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's the momentum of this game is all about the concentration. And if you're split-minded, and if he's already playing shape on the the 9 or whatever else he's rest of his pattern, and he was a fraction of a second out of his moment.
Yeah.
Wow. So Mitsko, Mr. Fortunsky, huh? Took a little break there, walked out of the arena, came back, and this is his breath of life.
Yeah, I think he's smart enough to know that, this might be his last opportunity if he doesn't take advantage of it. And right now, Josh has his head down. And
he's sick.
He's disgusted. He's disgusted with himself. And I guarantee you that Mishko is in as much disbelief as he am, because he can't believe that he missed that shot and gave him that opportunity.
Well, Tony, it's situations like this that absolutely illustrate how freaking hard this game is.
Yeah.
I mean, to try to make a living at it, imagine that. But just the game is so freaking hard. To just lose your concentration for just this split second is just disaster.
And the players, the level that they're playing at nowadays is so incredibly high that it's anyone's tournament.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, look how many different people have won the last tournaments that we've had. You had Aloysius Yap win Michigan, and then in Ohio, I think Roberto Gomez finished second for the second straight tournament. He finished second against Aloysius
Ten ball.
in the 10 ball in Michigan, and then finished second in Ohio. But you know, Mario, he won that one. And then none of those guys that won that tournament are here in this tournament in the final. It's like it's
Right.
someone different every time. I mean, look at Shane Van Bonen. He ran 210 balls and he lost yesterday.
Yeah.
It's like there's no guarantee how good you are, is what I'm saying. That's how difficult it is.
When we talk to Danny DeLiberto or some of the older guard players, they all kind of say the same thing, which is the years back, the great players were as good as the great players now, but now there are so many more of them.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Yeah, I play the 5, the 11, the 1.
See, I would have played it differently. I would have played the 11 to the 7 and put it by the rail
I
for
thought
a
he was.
key ball.
I thought the
Then I
reason
would
is
have
he
had
had
the
a little,
1 and then get rid of those and come back to the 1.
Yeah, I think he just didn't like the way he was going into that 11, and I can't blame him for that, for not wanting to touch another ball. But then he had a funny angle there. I think he wanted to get on the 1 there.
I know, but look at the awkward situation
Yeah,
that he's in
he's in
now.
an
That
awkward
because
situation.
he didn't get rid of it when he had the opportunity.
Yeah, that
right?
the 7 is just acting as a
Mhm.
blocker right now.
Yeah. And then sometimes you have that pattern, Jerry, where you just had this one ball in that one location that's just making it obnoxious.
Yes,
Like
just
if that one ball wasn't there, you'd have stop, 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 stop. That's what I call the dummy ball. It's just there for no reason, but it's annoying.
Right.
You know? But you see, look, if he would have taken the one that I said, where you bunt to 7 from the beginning and had the 1 as a Geico, he would have. He wouldn't. And I'm not saying it's impossible.
But
It's
there
just
was
making it more difficult.
There was a chance he could have tied up the 10 ball with that.
I don't think so. I
You
don't think
think
he
it
had
was
that
lame?
kind of angle. I think he was going to hit the top side of the 7. But you know, you don't know. Maybe it was. If it wasn't, he definitely took the right shot. You know?
Yeah, he just didn't get on the 1 good. Well, this shot is no fun at all.
I mean, listen. The other option that he had here, if he knew enough about the game, is shoot the 10, the 1, the 7 is next to the rack,
Take it behind the
leave the cue
string.
ball. Yeah, leave the cue ball since the 7 is next to the rack.
Yeah.
Shoot a stop shot.
That's right. Take it behind the string and shoot.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he just wound up. You can get better than this.
Yeah.
Because all he has to do is just make the 7 on the side. He has a 1 railer for
Yeah. He can come right around the 10 ball.
So a little roll there, 1 rail, and he should be good.
Yeah. This is that little. He's gonna. I hope he doesn't get straight in. This one can get away from him and get straight in, and it did. A little bit of angle. That was a tricky little shot right there.
Yeah.
You had to put enough energy to pull it back.
But not so much.
Not so much that it.
Where you have to like slice it. That's why I always like to be worst case scenario parallel to the ball, but more to the other side, because the thinner the break shot, the more speed the cue ball retains coming off the object ball.
Right.
Which means you don't have to literally smash it, because
He's
you
gonna-
always
he's
have
gonna
to watch
smash
it with
this.
that scratch in the upper right hand corner pocket, right? But he went down, and it's just
Yeah.
tough to move the
Yeah.
balls when you're hitting the corner ball.
There's just no inertia on the cue ball.
He
He's
called the
banking it.
bank.
He's gonna bank it
He
and
said,
stop
I'm
his ball.
gonna go all out. I'm gonna go all out. That's what he's saying.
Can he stop his ball for the 9? Or is he gonna have to
He might have to
come
hit the
around?
bottom rail. But he better be sure of this bank because if he doesn't make it, he's gonna give the opportunity to Josh. He
Nothing.
overdrew it. He overdrew the ball.
Does it go on the side?
Hmm?
Does it go on the side?
I think he's gonna play
Just gonna
safe.
play safe.
Because even if it went in the side, he really doesn't have much of anything he could do that. Now, see, you know what I liked about that? I would have liked to prefer more if he put it exactly in between both balls. Is now if you come off the 2, you might scratch in the left corner. If you come off the 6, you might scratch in the right corner. I think
Right.
that's one of the most overlooked safeties in straight pool. Wonder if that 8 ball is on, Jerry.
It sure looks close, doesn't it?
The only reason I say that is because if he could see enough of the 1 to hit the 3 and the 11, well, the 11 was not hitting the 14 enough, so he wouldn't have enough energy. He's not hitting it full enough.
The wraparound shot.
Yeah, I love the shots like that. See, he's looking at it, but I think he's trying to see if there's a way for him to reach it. I don't know if he would have to hit the 3 to the 7 to the 15 and maybe try to go for a kick shot. But if it's dead, it's not a bad shot. If you're confident enough to be able to hit the 3 dead square, you know. See, that's what he's looking at. And you know what I try to tell people when they're assessing situations like this? Sometimes I'll try to play it safe and put the cube in a position where they say, hey, you know what? Let me just take a scratch and tap it to see what he does, but I'm really putting in a better position to kick one rail and trap my opponent, you know. But you also have to be careful how you study a rack, because if you screw up somehow and you're playing someone that's, he called the 8 ball, you see, like I said, you might give it away. Look at him. Look, he didn't even hit it. He didn't even hit it. Yeah, he is not happy with himself right now. And now he might have just left the opportunity for Josh. But, you know, Josh could just pocket the 15 and lead the cue ball by the first diamond top rail on the right-hand side and shoot the 9 and break him. Or he could just come, if it's really that dead, you have to go for it. You can
Does
go
it
back and
look
forth
like
here.
does it look like it's throwing better off of the 3 or from the 14?
I think it's from the 3 only because that's how he was playing it. But you see, look, he left the cue ball by the top rail, first diamond, like I said.
Right.
And he's probably figuring, hey, let me just go ahead and break him. But be careful not to overhit it, because if you go off the side of the rack, the cue ball could escape uptown. There you go. You see?
Yeah, well, the 8 didn't
The
go
8
from where he hit it.
But he caught a roll there, you know. Did he hit the 3 ball there?
I don't know which ball he
he's
hit.
going to run into it.
He might have hit the 14.
Yeah, you got to run into it there. And believe it or not, it's a nice little, like, a draw shot. It's not that bad of a shot if you just nudge the balls a bit, because you have a little Geico there, right, with the 1 ball at least, and
Got a few of
couple of other them, you know. But he has to take care of that 2 and 6 as soon as possible. Shouldn't wait too long. He should shoot the 7 next after this and try to use a 3 as a Geico, you know. But I kind of love the 3 stop shot in the end, and the 11 in the side pocket is a break shot. But obviously that's not his plan, because he's already playing for one of them. So he's probably going to use a 7 or the 4. He could use a 4 ball to break him up, right? If that's the case, he could use a 4 to
side.
Yeah, but he could use a 4 ball. He could use a 4. Oh, I guess he can't use a 4 ball. Well, he's going to leave the 3 balls at Geico and just move one of those there.
That'll work. That'll work.
Now he has to come on the opposite side. Maybe.
He's going to leave a deep angle off the 6 ball.
No, I think he's going to leave the 2 ball, the cue ball in the rack, and bring the 2 ball out. But that's a dangerous shot, because if you get too straight, you're just going to have to draw the cue ball back and have them place the 2 ball on the spot. Or the 4 ball.
I'm surprised he didn't take.
I don't know about that.
I think he should have taken the thin hit on the 6 as the break ball.
Yeah.
Because he'd at least have known he would have gotten that shot.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's not that he can't make the shot. He can make the shot, but I think it's a little trickier
Oh yeah,
to
it can.
get there because you have to spin it
The
in order
side
to gain
pockets,
the
all
angle to
yeah,
reach the rack.
and the side pocket seems to get in the way
Yeah.
every time.
See, if he had a fuller hit, he could draw past the side pocket and go 2 rails. I think that's what he was trying to achieve there. But I'm surprised he didn't just leave it by the center of the table to just do your standard cut in and go 2 rails into the rack shot, right? So I guess that's what he's going to play safe. Now, this is what I mean. If he does stuff like this more often, instead of taking, lower
Unnecessarily.
percentage shots, I understand he's in my opinion, the greatest shot maker in the world. But it's you're not going to make everything, you
Right.
know.
Yeah,
And
which
if
he
you choose
proved.
to do it at the wrong time, it could cost you the tournament.
Nice control.
Yeah. But I told you, we're in for a great match, and it's been a pretty good back and forth match. It's like two boxers, trading blows. It's pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, both players are disgusted with their play.
Hmm. But they're not letting it affect their game to the point where
Well, they
they're
still are.
giving
They
up.
still trying to win. They still
Mhm.
think they can win, but they're both disgusted
Yeah.
with the mistakes that they've made.
I mean, you better feel really confident about making this ball if you're considering going for it.
I think he's going for it. He's thinking. He's saying, "Listen,
So you know what I would do here, Jerry? I would take a back scratch, not like that. I would kick the cue ball 2 rails underneath the 10 ball to put myself in a better position to play a return safety if he plays a
isn't
safety.
that a little dangerous in terms of
I've
if
been practicing that shot, playing that shot my whole life. Yeah.
if your speed isn't exactly right and you leave the 10 up table?
Yeah, I love that shot. If you do it that way, and a veteran Straightpool player, if that knows all the moves, if you're playing against him and you kick the cube underneath there, they're probably just going to kick it back and put it back in the position where it was originally.
Mhm.
Like if I did something like that against Danny, he's just going to kick it back there to put me in that because he knows I can't get out of the trap.
Right.
But if you do this to test someone's knowledge, they might just play a safe off the 10 and then they leave you the 5 or the 8 to play a return safety with. So
Mhm.
that's what you want to do. You're just taking one scratch to put yourself in a better position to play a return safety. That's all it
Absolutely.
is. But like I said earlier, yeah, it's only a dangerous shot if you overhit it and leave the 10 in the upper right-hand corner pocket. But I practice this shot. So I've shot this so many years that I hit it
Right.
perfect almost every time. So I feel very, very comfortable shooting this shot.
Yeah, I mean, and you can shoot. You're definitely going to err on the underside by underhitting it.
Yeah, I mean, the key is to not, like I said, Josh, I consider Josh the best shot maker on the planet. If you're going to take a foul like that, you better make sure you don't let Josh see that 4 ball because he's probably going to fire it in, you know.
Yeah. Taking a foul, shoot at the 4 or take a foul is his only shot.
Yeah, I don't know because,
This-
he's going to leave the 8 ball. Oh, he's playing the 13. He was playing the 13, okay. I thought he was going to thin it and try to play safe, and I
Yeah,
said, that's not a
that was
good
not
idea.
workable. I shoot the 4 or
But what I'm saying is, would you rather take a risk taking a foul and putting the cue behind the 10 or doing something
no.
like that?
That's a great shot. That would have been a great shot. I definitely learned something there. Well, Joshua's taking a timeout. Tony, tell me about who was Mike Euphemia. I remember hearing that name when I was a kid, coming up in the pool room in California. Of course, we only played 9 ball, and I'd never seen 100 balls run playing straight pool. I'd never seen 75 run because nobody played. But I knew the name Mike Euphemia.
I thought that's
Okay,
what.
Joshua's back at the table. He's got an open. He's got an open shot here, and he's gonna take dead aim. I guess the 6 passes the 8.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he was really trying to play for the 6 ball. Or he was trying to play for the 7 ball. Because I think the 7 ball. One rule that I have when I'm playing straight pool is if I have we discussed this yesterday, a choice between one
Tony,
break shot or the other. You want to take the one that's taking you to the heart of the cluster.
Right.
I think the 7 did that more than the 6. You know.
Tony, that shot was a disaster.
Yeah, but this kid is, like I said, his combination shots are sick. He makes it look like hangers.
Ugh.
Yeah, he caught a roll there because, technically he should have scratched there. He caught a bit of a roll there.
And he's scrambling.
Yeah, but he's good here because he can make the 10. He just
but
has
he's
to
gonna
control the
he's gonna
cue
let
ball
the cue
a bit
ball
more.
loose.
Yeah, and you know
It's
what's
actually looking. It's right on line. It could run right into the 4.
Yeah, or go past it. And if he goes past it and goes to the other side of the cluster,
His
he might
speed
be in
is
trouble.
I mean, he's going to have the 3 ball if he can get anywhere in the opening, but he could hit the 4 and scratch.
But you see, look, he's going to the other side.
He's going to
Remember that?
scratch.
Yeah.
He's
But even if he doesn't scratch, he doesn't have a gimme, right?
nope. Yeah, he did. He got a roll. He got a look. I think he got a look at that stripe ball, and this will put him in the open.
Yeah, the 9 definitely goes. If the 9 goes, you have to shoot the 9. If the 9 doesn't go, then the 8 ball's a shot here in the side pocket.
Nobody wants to shoot that, but
No.
that's all he has.
No,
I
but
think
if
the
that's
9
all he has,
goes.
he doesn't have much of a choice in this.
I mean, he could even carom the 9 off the 3 if he has to hit it that fat.
Mm-hmm.
He just needs one more ball to get out in the open and get control of the table. Oh, is he
shooting combination 5 to the
no,
7?
It looked like he might be able to see an edge of that stripe ball.
Yeah, I think he's going for the 8 in the side.
Aye.
Yeah, it's a hell of a
Straight
shot.
in the heart. Well, he commits to him, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. No, he's supremely confident in his shot-making ability. But after he made that 8 ball, he was BIL. Back in line. That's what Ginky used to say. When he got out of line, he says, he got back in line, he says, I'm BIL, back in line. And I guarantee you that's what he's saying right now. See, now he's going to use the 13 ball to get, I would imagine he wants to get on the 2 there, right? I don't think that's what he wanted to do. I'm pretty sure you didn't want to run
It's
to
going
the
to work
ball.
out perfect, though.
Mm-hmm. And this is what I mean. See, over here, you have to get rid of the balls in the bottom. It makes 0 sense to shoot this, go back up, and come back down.
Yep.
You should always stay within the group. Go from Group A to Group B instead of Group A, Group B, Group A, and then Group B,
Just get a good angle on this ball. It's been a ragged match.
Well, I think it's going to be better later on once they fully
Once
awoken.
they get their first match of the day under their belts. Everybody left in the tournament has put monster runs together through the course of the tournament.
Yeah, Federer put one against me in my first match of the tournament. He ran 125 and out.
And then he ran 200 and some, 202 or whatever he ran.
I believe it. And right now, the current score between...
Look at this. Can you imagine that Filler didn't just light that up?
Yeah, I don't know.
He's not himself.
I always smash that, man.
He's not himself.
Yeah. This is the reason why Gene Nagy stopped shooting break shots. This is why I shoot my break shots hard. Because of stuff like this,
Oh, my word. Oh, man.
win the other semifinal match. Federer still at the table. I don't know how many he's running, but he's currently ahead by the score of 115 to 51 against Ruslan, who's a defending champion.
You know, one of Schmidt's philosophies, which seems counterintuitive, is playing on these diamonds that are tougher tables, that you have to hit the break shots more aggressive. You've got to hit them harder.
Yeah.
You would think, oh, well, it's that much harder to pocket the ball, and it is. But you're not gonna like it when you're gonna have to go into the re-break the balls 2-3 times.
Mm-hmm.
It's just because the pockets are tighter. You're gonna have a lot fewer opportunities to get good break shots on the stack. You need to light a bomb and open those balls up and give yourself a chance to run the balls. And that's totally opposite to what you would think.
I know.
But it makes a lot of sense.
I think he's going to go for the 5-ball here. This is another situation where I would seriously consider taking 3 scratches. You know, I mean, yeah, I know Joshua might go for that 5-ball if you put him in between 2 balls.
He missed it. He over-arced it and missed it. Man, Mishko's sick. He's just freaking going to be sick.
Yeah.
This is really an odd match. I think he's deciding whether or not how deep of an angle, if he wants to make a deep angle and go into him right now. Okay, he's going to set off the bomb and see what kind of roll he gets. Perfect. He hit the right ball going into him. No, this is good. The 2 goes,
I think
the 14
he hit that
goes.
just a hair too hard. I think he wanted to get a little angle on the 2-ball to be able to break him up a bit, you know.
Yeah. Well, the 14 does go on the side. I think the 7 ball goes in this left corner.
Mm-hmm. But see, that was an opportunity to play the 14 aside, and then, you know, 13. Well, he wants to leave that as a break shot, though, so I can understand. I think he underhit that. I don't think he wanted to end up there, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's an inch short.
Came a little short.
He's got insurance. It's not a problem, but in terms of opening that little cluster, he needed another inch.
He should run into the 9 here. All right, just to secure the 1 ball there, make it a little easier. But, you know, I would try to get rid of that 14 as soon as possible.
I think he's going to take it right now. He's going to play this, and then he can go into these balls pretty lightly, still having the 5 up there if he doesn't.
But he overhit it again. He overhit it again, right?
In terms of just making it a hair more difficult?
Well, not just that, but, you know, if you have a fuller hit on the 14, you don't move the 15 as much, you know, because he's still trying to retain that 13 as a break shot, you know.
Not taking a chance of disturbing it. Just take another crack at getting on that 14. Good. Well, here he can unthread all of these and not even touch them if it lays that way.
See, now he's probably going to leave the 15.
Yeah, he knocked the 13 down, but fortunately the 15 is still off the rail enough to do something.
He's thinking, should I play position for the 4 and then use a 7 to get there, or vice versa? That's what he's thinking. Believe it or not, shooting the 4 and going between them isn't a bad option either. He overhit that badly. Definitely didn't want to go there, so you could move the 4, but you
move the 4.
You can move the 4, but you know you got to be careful with that, because if you move the 4, the cue ball stops there, and you have an awkward angle on the 7. You know, he might have to go. He might have to leave the 7 as a break shot and go around the world.
I can't see what he's thinking.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if he has enough angle to
I
go
think he's
around the
gonna come
table,
straight
or
across
if
the
he can
table.
go, you know, with inside spin.
And he's going to come straight across the table. No, he tried to get under it.
Oh my God, he got just enough angle to run into the rack.
I think he can draw back and maybe peel off that corner ball.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he has just enough angle. I took a look at that.
He
He might
needs-
have enough angle to go past it.
He needs the next.
He just needs 2.
Oh, he needs 2. Needs 2.
So he needs his 1 ball after the break. Doom, doom, doom. Will he get a shot? Or will Mesh get another opportunity?
He got a shot.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Yeah, the
Or
10
is it-
goes.
No,
Or the combination.
combination. I'm going to start calling him the combination king and the carom king. He makes him look like hangers.
10 doesn't go up table. He's got a combination.
Oh, 10 definitely doesn't go. The 6 is blocking. I'm looking at it from the perfect angle here.
Well, he's looking at it too. That
Maybe he's
10's
Maybe he's going to call the 10 in the side off the 6 and freeze the cube to the rack. So if the 10 doesn't go, it'll just end up, on the other side of the table.
That's good thinking. That's good thinking.
That's if he doesn't shoot the 6, because I think if he tries to go the 6, he might sell out a bit.
Maybe just draw his cue ball back to the end rail here, and he's going to shoot at his hole. He's not going to. Not going to play any kind of safety. He's going to take a chance to make a ball. But what you thought of was great, is if you can find a way to pocket the ball and play safe.
That's what he's going to do.
That's what he's going to do.
Just either stick the cue ball there or hit it behind, right?
Yep.
Wow, but he hit that very hard. Oh, he called
He
the
called
6
it
ball.
2
Oh
rails.
my God, I can't believe that.
He called it
that's
2
crazy.
rails in the side.
What a crazy shot. Wow, what a way to end the match, huh? I thought he called the 10 ball. I
did
didn't know he
too.
called the 6 ball.
But
Wow.
it looked like he was playing the cue ball all
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
He played that 2 rails.
What a sick shot, man.
Hey, but it was safe as could be.
Yeah, yeah.
Safe as could be.
I'm going to go up to him and I'm going to tell him, you crazy, man.
Wow, that was some kind of match.
Wow.
But we're not used to watching him miss balls.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'll bet you his next match he tears it up.
Oh, yeah, probably.
There's a whole lot more to come. Stay tuned.